are free across the country. In institutions, we have digital hubs across the country where young people can access internet, computers, and working spaces, as well as trainers and mentors to introduce them into the monetization space, or rather online workspace for them to work and earn. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Mko salama tusalimiane kwa hewa. Thank you. My name's Michel Jerry Otieno, but I'm popularly known as DJ Lenium. Now, I know so many people know me just as a DJ, but I would say I'm a jack of so many, because not only am I a DJ, I'm an MC, I'm an actor, I'm an entrepreneur, but in this case, I'm representing a company I've been running for the last 15 years. It's called Quayside Media, where I'm the director. And basically what Quayside Media deals with is branding and conceptualization. So we basically tame the brand, help bring it up. If it's coming up with concepts, coming up with themes, and advising you, and basically acting as your, I would say, your digital parent in it. So apart from that, recently an accolade I added to my bag is I am the chairman of the Digital Council of Kenya Mombasa branch. So basically we deal with digital concepts, digital content. So if you're a content creator, we are trying to put all content creators in one bag and see how we can push their manifesto out there, how we can basically come up with a way where you can earn your money in a very liable way and through the right ways. So in a nutshell.
Thank you, Lenium.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Zainab Bashir, the founder and executive director of Royal Swahili Singo and Massage. Sisi kwetu tunahudumia wanawake na target yetu ni wanawake ambao tumecreate space ambako mwanamke akija anapata kuhudumiwa, na si kuhudumiwa tu aje ahudumiwe alipe pesa ende zake. Tunataka mahali mtu akija kama amekuja na stress, definitely ametoka bila stress. Kama amekuja ngozi haina mwonekano mzuri, tunahakikisha anatoka pale akiwa amefurahi na ameridhika. Shukran.
Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, so before we dive the discussion today, labda tu mtuambie, Evelyn, what is to you, how do you define branding? And maybe your journey through it. What is branding?
Wow. I think the better part of the morning up to now, everyone has been defining branding or a brand in their own ways, or rather in the ways they believe it is. I can try to add a bit onto what they have said, because really branding is who you are. Someone said earlier that branding is what people say about you when you're out of the room. If you're a company, if you're an individual, you are a brand. And in most cases, we see people living double lives. So we were someone by the night and a different person during the day. Remember, a brand, or rather what I could say is the brand is not just a profile, especially in the digital space. It is not just your profile online, but it is your digital asset. It is your asset. It is the trust you've created, and that which people can identify with and be able to either consume your products, that is content, it could be anything that you can take to the market and people can buy based on the trust you've created around it.
Okay, Lenium, you can tell us about what are the key elements that someone should really consider when they want to build a strong brand? Because we have mentees here who, we have different pathways. Those who want to venture into businesses, those who want to go back to school, maybe upskill or get some skills, and those who want to get employment. And now we have the digital platforms coming through. So what are the key elements that someone should really consider when they want to create or build a strong brand?
Okay. I think first and foremost, I would love to say is always look at your strengths, right? Am I a carpenter? Am I a musician? Am I a shopkeeper? Am I a tech whiz? You can't do all right? Now, the problem with us human beings is we want to do everything. And unfortunately, there'll be a part where there's a problem. I'll give you an example. For someone, we have 5 senses, right? And the Almighty gave us a way that all these 5 senses work in 100%. So there's 20% for each. But you'll realize for someone who doesn't have one sense, you will find one of their senses is stronger. That means they always emulate the other. So it's the same way. We cannot have all of them on an equal basis. One will stand out. So when you notice that you stand out with one, use that to the fullest, because that is where your strength is. Now, unfortunately, the only problem with us human beings is so many of us were born original, but actually we were all born original, but so many of us will die photocopies. Why? It's because I will look at what Risasi is doing and think, why can't I do what he's doing? I mean, it's working out for him. Or Lulu was on stage and Lulu has given her story, and you're thinking, my story is almost close to hers. Why don't I do exactly what she does? All right? You realize you are not Lulu's twin, or I'm not Risasi's twin. So you cannot have exactly all the elements the same people will have. Realize what is your strength. Work on your strength and then build that strength, build that brand. Personally, for me, when I started, as much as, and I mentioned, when you gave us a chance to introduce each other here, I mentioned the things I do. I'm a DJ, I'm an MC, I'm an actor. But from all these, there's always one that stands out, right? Everywhere I'll go, everyone will always recognize me more as a DJ. Not that I'm a pathetic actor or I'm not a good MC, but there's one that stands out, and that is the brand that I push more. So with everyone else in this room that is represented, if you know one is your brand, no matter how small or big it is, push it. I know so many people, look at the story we were given just before Lulu spoke, Steve O Simple Boy. I mean, when he started out, so many people looked down on him and said, this guy has no future, we will not see anything with him, he will not last. That was the word, actually, he will not last. 10 years later, we are still talking about him, all right? With his mediocrity and his silly aspects here and there, we still talk about him because that is the brand he pushes out. All right. So with that, he has realized, let me go with it. And Steve was Simple Boy, as much as you see him, I've been in a gig with him where he was saying he cannot be paid anything less than 100K. So I was wondering, 100K. And when you push him out, you find in every event, if this is what we require, you'll call him and you'll pay him that money because that is the brand he pushed out. Now I can imagine if someone came and told him, this thing is not working out for you, people don't like it, people find you absurd, people think you're not serious, achana nayo, go and look for something else. If he did look for something else, that's how that brand would have died. All right? So if you're sticking to it, stick to it. And the best example in Kenya I would give is a product. A product, I was born and found it there, and it's still there. It's called Omo. Omo, when I was born, was just Omo. Then Omo came out and realized there are other products that are coming out in the market. How do we do it? Do we go and decide to sell something else, or do we change? But they decided we are sticking to this no matter what. So what do? They rebranded. So Omo with Powerform. Then came Omo with Powerform Plus. And they kept on in every year. They keep on, but the name Omo stands out. Another thing, when people go to the shop, when they're going to look for, how they call it, I wouldn't call it, okay, let me just use what everyone calls it. Blue Band has stood out, okay? But we'll find lower quality margarines in the shop. What will the person going to buy tell them? Nipatie ile Blue Band ya shilingi 10. Not that they're buying Blue Band, but they're buying that margarine because every margarine you think about, the first name that comes in mind is Blue Band. We have several margarines in the market, but Blue Band stands out. Why? Because they pushed themselves that way. So in a nutshell, basically, if you are coming up with a brand, you're getting into the market, go with it the whole way. And that's how you create a strong brand. Now, there are other factors that are there that include how you market yourself and how you push yourself out. Because again, just as Evelyn has mentioned, and how someone mentioned before, a strong brand is how people think of you. All right? If you are a negative person, that's the publicity you're pushing out of your brand. If you are a positive person, it's the same way, but that's what people think about you. All right? So those are some of the factors, unless we dive in and break it down on how you can push a strong brand.
Okay, thank you. You've really emphasized on authenticity. And maybe, Madam Zainab, the service you do, it's more of an experience than selling a product as an entrepreneur. Na hii product ambayo unaiuza, ama hii service ambayo unaiuza, ni service ambayo it's cultural, right? Si service ambayo utaipata kirahisi. How do you balance that? Wakati bado una push service ambayo ni cultural, you are remaining authentic in what you believe in, but at the same time you want to appeal to modern audiences. Ni safari gani ambayo umekuwa nayo? Maybe wewe pia umekuwa, have you had to rebrand or something, vitu kama hivyo?
Okay, we all start from somewhere. Maybe ningewatolea a short story of how I started. Mimi ni msichana mdogo, I'm a mother of one. Nilianza Swahili Singo, nikianza hata jina nilikuwa sina. But nilianza kitu ambacho nilikuwa napenda kukifanya kwa watu, yani kukanda watu, kusinga watu. Mimi napenda tu mtu ajione tu yuko vizuri. Unaona? So nilianza kidogo chini kwenye godoro, kidogo na through consistency in business. To build a brand lazima uwe consistent. Kila siku naamka, naoga, najipamba, nenda napiga picha na post. Nitaandika kwa mfano, Zainab, thanks for coming, Najma, thanks for... While in reality, hiyo siku hakuna mtu alikuja for any service. But hiyo haikunifanya ni stop pale. Inakufanya, inakupush yani. So tunaanza from somewhere, pole unaenda ukigrow through consistency, na lazima uwe na imani ya hali ya juu. Na imani ni vipi? Unafaa umwamini Mungu. Madamu yeye ndo amekupa ile kipawa, ama yeye ndo amekupa ile business idea, usichoke, muombe kila siku na yeye atazidi kukufungulia doors. Kitu kingine, you need to be unique. Jamani, apart from Royal Swahili Singo and Massage Spa, ni spa ngapi ziko Mombasa? Spa ziko nyingi. Kuna La Morocco, kuna Sultana, sijui kuna nani. But kwa nini? I can see my clients on the first row. Why do they always come back to me? There is something that I sell. Unaona, it's the feeling. I believe it's the feeling. Kuna siku Najma alikuja, sorry, I'm using you as an example, alitext anambia, Zainab, mimi niko na chronic headache. But hakufikiria sehemu nyingine ya kwenda, katoka kwa akaja paka Chuda kwangu kupata ile head massage. Kwa hivyo ni kuanzia ile the customer service. How do you karibisha yule client? Unamkaribisha client kwa mapenzi, unamweka mahali apata glasi ya maji ya kunwa, tayari ashakal. Sometimes it's not all about money. It's about the bond also that you make with your clients. You'll build your brand by bonding with your clients, consistency, kuwa unique, come up with something. Kuna mtu anataja chai ya mahaba. After every service sisi tunapeana a special cup of tea. We mwanamke ushakandwa, ushasingwa, mwili wako umefunguka vile viungo. So unahitaji kitu moto, ule mwili ufungane, urudi hali yako ya kawaida. Kwa hivyo na hivyo haiji kirahisi. Mimi sikuinuka tu nikajia jamani Royal Singo John ni wasinge. No. I started from somewhere. Unahitaji clients wako wa kutrust, build trust. Ambako mtu hanijui mimi in person, but akitajiwa Royal Swahili Singo, anakuwa na ile motisha. Mtu anasema, I need to go to that place. What's so special about Royal Swahili Singo and Massage?
I don't know if you'll allow me to add. I love what she said, and I think in this line of work, this is the one thing where you don't go to school to be taught. Okay, this comes naturally, and just backing up, looking for something unique makes you stand out. And again, I go back to my point. We were all born original, but so many of us will die photocopies because using her example. She does massage, lakini watu wanafanya ni wengi. So if she decided to do what her competition is doing, she wouldn't stand out. So there's something she's doing differently. And that again goes back to the question you asked me about being a strong brand. Not only are you identifying your strength, but once you've done that, what will make you different in the market? What will make you, people will identify you more. You know, I'll use myself, I'm a DJ. How many DJs do we have? Let's start with home. Right here in Swahilipot, wako wangapi? DJs wako wengi. Tukiingia Mombasa, DJs wako wengi. Tukiingia the whole country, you can't even count all of them. But you will find Lenium will stand out. Why does Lenium stand out? And of late, and I'm loving this new coin that has come out, everyone is now identifying me as Daktari. I've been in a place where, and coincidentally I was in an event where doctors were there. So you find the MC amekuja amenita daktari. So the doctors think I am also a doctor, you know. And it's quite interesting because for them they're finding it weird. You're a doctor, but you're also a DJ. How? And you're doing it well. So that is a unique coining that has come up, and it has really helped me. And that is how I have died with that brand. All right? I push it out everywhere. Not whether I am MCing, whether I am... Even when I act, I've been in Lulu's productions, about 3 of them. And every time when they're putting out my name, I always tell them, don't put Michel Jerry Otieno, put DJ Lenium, because that is the brand that I'm pushing out. So it is the same with anyone who's here. If that is the brand you're going to do, die with it. Be proud of it. I mean, I walk around everywhere. This is my water bottle, but it has my logo. I make sure it's ever. This is how I brand myself. I come to an event, I make sure ni make a banner. And even if you won't talk to me, you will make sure you've seen the brand there. So go with that memory that there is a post I saw somewhere or a banner I saw somewhere. I would love to get that DJ. I would love to do that. That is how you push yourself. But again, don't push yourself in an irritating way, because nowadays we have people, they are in your face. Umekuja shakwekea flyer, do you know about, do it in a way, again, going back to Zainab's point, unique way, stand out, naturally, that watu watarudi wenyewe kwako.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Mumeisikia vizuri sana. Na pia Zainab, authenticity, of course, and showing up consistency. That is very, very key. Now, if we have a lot of mentees, time to time we have training, upskilling them again. How do they monetize these skills on leveraging these digital platforms that we have already?
There is so much change that has caught up with us, particularly in the digital space. One, because when Yahoo.com and others were being introduced in the early 2000s, people first were scared. And a lot of people, when computers again came in, especially at the workplace, people were scared because we were used to our traditional bankers, that is the accountants. We were used to teachers. We were used to doctors doing the, the injection on the side. But when the computers came, for instance, the accountants thought that the computers had come to take up their work. In fact, the calculators, even to start with, they were adamant to embracing that simple technology because they thought it was going to take their jobs. Computers have done the same, and now we are in the era of AI. A lot has changed. a lot. Case in point, at the Ajira digital program, and particularly eMobilis, where we are working directly with the young people on the area of skilling, we have seen serious shifts. Because when the program started, we started with areas of work or pathways like virtual assistance, transcription, content writing, digital marketing, data entry, name them. And they were very lucrative at the time. But over time, as digitization and digitalization advances, or rather advanced, a lot of these opportunities that we were introducing our young people to have continued to shrink. Yeah, zimekuwa kidogo because AI, for instance, can do the transcribing. All you need to do is upload your video and AI can give you a transcript. Previously, it was the young people who used to listen and do the transcription word for word. And when, for example, someone who started as a transcriber sees this kind of shift, they could be tempted to be scared, and rightfully so. However, the question then comes in on, for example, AI. Should we be scared about AI taking over our jobs? Or should we embrace AI and be able to co-create and do better? Because truth be told, AI, for example, or rather the digital revolution is here. It's with us. We are living with it. And it's either it is happening to you or you are happening to it. And then what does that mean? That means that you need, as DJ has said, and also Zainab, to understand, of course, your uniqueness and the unique talents that you bring to the table, and identify areas within, for example, the AI revolution that you can fit in, and how you then can bring in the human element. For example, right now, there are so many opportunities, but not the very basic. In the, when the digital work or other online work revolution started, you could do basic skills and still be able to cash big. But now you have to remain skilled, you have to reskill, you have to upskill, you have to cross-skill. And when you do that, then you will continue to identify opportunities within now the changes that are coming in. For example, with AI right now, it doesn't mean it has entirely taken over, say, an area like transcription. What has happened is that AI, instead of looking at it as artificial intelligence, you could look at it from the angle of amplified intelligence, that it will allow you to do more with quality and with speed, such that if you were able to do one paper, or rather one transcription in a day, you can do 10. Because all you need to do is bring in the human element, be able to review, be able to give in the emotional point of view, or rather the emotional perspective, and give it more value that AI cannot. Things like prompt engineering or other skills like prompt engineering now are becoming, a thing that is very normal. You are seeing also things like digital resilience, because as all of us are being exposed to the digital space, there will be need for data protection, data governance, cybersecurity, and who is doing that? Because remember, if all of us have a phone, we are using the internet, we are exposed to a lot of risks. Who is taking care of that? Aren't there opportunities there? Who is, for example, guiding us in terms of ethical usage of data? Right now, every company, for example, if you visit these booths, your data will be taken. How do we ensure it is used ethically, or rather in the right way, or rather purpose it was taken for. So there are so many opportunities that are opening up, and I know really it is a lot. There are things like blockchain that have not been fully explored. Those are areas of opportunity that young people can explore, and that is why, for example, at eMobilis, for the Ajira digital program, we continue reviewing our curriculum every now and then to ensure that the skill that you're giving to the young person is very adaptable and very up to date. They are able to monetize it, they are able to sustain it in the long run, and equally teaching them soft skills like financial literacy, communications, so that they are able to be at it for the long haul. Yeah.
Thank you. Lenia, maybe in a minute, what are some of the most common mistakes people do when branding? Just a minute.
Again, it's the same thing. I think the curriculum is the same. It's just the language that is changed. Again, when most people are doing their branding, they want to copy someone else. And that is the most common and the biggest mistake. Because I have been to PWANI Innovation Week and I saw so many teardrops. Let me also make teardrops because it looks like it will work for me. But unfortunately, in the type of place you are, it doesn't. So again, once you've identified your strength, once you've identified your uniqueness, let that push your brand in the best way. So for some, you will find having, and I'll give you a good example. There was a time, I'm in the event sector. There was a time where every 31st of December, there used to be a team that used to come to Diani, known as 6 a.m. Entertainment. Now, 6 a.m. Entertainment, never at one point will you see a banner in town, will you see a poster, right? But you would find 3,400, 3,000, 4,000 youth would go. Now, that was that time. Maybe someone, a Gen Z would say, those are millennial times. Let's move to the Gen Z times. We have something called summer tides. Now, summer tides, you will never see a banner. You will never see a poster. But how many people make their way to Diani? More than 5,000, 6,000 youth. Why? Because they have identified that our marketing strategy is either through WhatsApp, it's through Facebook, it's through Instagram, it's through Twitter or X, or through basically social media. And they don't do much, and it goes viral. So that means if they copied someone else and put up their teardrops, put up a banner, it would either not work for them, or it would even make their brand go down. So in a nutshell, always understand your brand, always let your brand work for yourself. I'll give you an example. In 2016, when tech had started becoming something popular in the entertainment sector, someone gave me an idea and told me, why not use tech to help you out? And I thought about it. I looked, what is unique about this sector? I'm a DJ. Yes, everyone is pushing themselves out. By that time, 2016, what was popular was Facebook. Instagram was just coming out. So me pushing out there, and there are 10,000 other DJs doing the same thing, it won't work. I became, and I think someone, Lulu mentioned, when you Google, what do people get about you? If you Google DJ Lenium, you will find the title that was put out by the Daily Nation was first East African DJ to own an app. All right? So that worked for me, because not only was I the first DJ in Mombasa, not the first DJ in Kenya, but basically Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, no other DJ had an app by that time. Yes, as the years went by, everyone started putting them out, and the app became, we rendered it useless. But it's a first. So when you're doing that, always be the first. And when you're the first, use it to push out every other thing you have.
Thank you so much. Zainab, as we wind up, kuna msichana yuko pale na anataka kuangazia maisha yake, labda kitaaluma, in their career path. Zile barriers ambazo labda ni culture imeweka, ni dini, mambo tofauti ambayo yanaleta vikwazo katika kuchagua njia zetu za career. wewe mwenyewe labda umekuwa nazo, umezipitia, na ni kitu gani ambacho ungemwambia msichana ambaye saizi anakusikiliza na ana nia ama ana dhamira ya kuanzisha kitu kujiendeleza?
Haya, this goes especially kwa wasichana. Where are you, young girls? I'm sure each and every one of us angependa siku moja awe na jina, angependa siku moja awe juu ama vipi? Kitu ningependa kuambia ama kuwashauri, anza na ulichonacho, anza ulipo, usingoje upate mapeni ama usingoje uchange, use whatever you have. Start where you are. Na inshallah Mungu atakuwezesha. Na kabla pia uanze unachotaka, ujue kwanza ni nini unataka. What do you want for yourself? Na ukishagundua, kwa mfano mimi niligundua kitu nataka kufanya ni hii single, ni massage, it's a Swahili spa. Mission zako ni nini? What are your goals? What are your aims? Na who are your customers? We una target nani? Kama mimi in general na target wanawake wote kwa jumla, sababu hii ni a therapy. Whatever I do is also a therapy. Na therapy hii ni watoto wanahitaji therapy, age zetu, na watu wazima pia wanahitaji therapy. Kwa hivyo tunaweza, na that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Evelyn, just 30 seconds for your closing remarks.
Thank you. Allow me to first say very quick that in Kenya, every year, we have between 500,000 to 800,000 young people that are released from the tertiary institutions. I mean institutions of higher learning, call them colleges, universities. And when they come into the job market can only absorb about a third of these people. That is the formal employment. Which means every year we have a backlog of an additional, you could say 300,000? Yeah, so that is a whole 70% that are not taken in. And that is why you are seeing, what we are seeing, for example, Gen Z wanatuonesha mambo. Yeah, they are showing us bad things online and even offline. So, what is the solution? And for us in this room, we cannot sit and say that we are doomed, because earlier Lulu said, no one is coming to rescue us. But again, we don't need rescuing, because digital space opportunities, digital economy is giving us limitless opportunities that we can explore. And the fact that we can serve both local and global clientele, then it is an opportunity of lifetime. So I will conclude by saying, are you happening to things, or are things happening to you? As AI is happening, as digital, is changing things, are you moving to create opportunities for yourself and others? Or are you seated waiting and wondering and crying and saying, those things we are saying about terms and everything, what are we doing about it? Are these things happening to us, or we are happening to them and really driving them?
Thank you, thank you. Are you happening to things, or are things happening to you? Lenium, nimesema 30 seconds, wacha niseme 10.
Nani 10 ukweli? Lenium, 10.
Shafika 8. Two pieces of advice I would leave. Number one, the internet never forgets. Very important. It could be your moment of lashing out, your moment of freedom of speech, but 10 years from now, it might affect you and you're thinking, why did I do that? So always, the internet does not forget. I don't want to delve that, maybe 10 seconds. The other 5, I would say, do not give up. No matter what career you have, never give up. I'll give out an example, and the good thing I am seeing her here. I have a friend of mine called Ruthalia Michaels. Ruthalia is one of the best models I have known ever since I started my career. But unfortunately, an accident led her to have an amputation. And a model without her legs is nothing. She could have decided, you know what, I am going to stop, nitatafuta mahali nianze biashara, nikae, ningoje pesa ingie nitoke. But she didn't give up. Using her newfound disability, she has made it work for her, and she has been to countries she has never been before when she was a model. All right? So, for everyone else, that is a disability. You have the ability. Use that ability to make it work for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Make it work.
Yes, we're gonna take 2 questions.
Yes, please.
And if you will be asking a question, please specify which one of the panelists you want to answer the question. Tunaanza now, then we'll go to the gentleman over there. Please stand for the mic to get to you very fast. Simama.
Oh, sorry. My question, direct. Real Singo. Hi, I am Umi. I want to ask you, where do you see yourself in the coming 5 to 10 years? That's simple.
I love that. Now,
Thank you.
take the mic to. Please answer that as I take the mic to the other gentleman.
Okay, inshallah, in the years to come, Mungu akitujalia, I want to see Royal Swahili Singo all over, branches all over East Africa, ikiwezekana hata huko majuu tatukuta inshallah.
Inshallah.
Hamjambo. Mimi swali langu litaenda moja kwa moja kwa DJ. Japo ameweza kuzungumza kwa lugha ya King'enge, lakini nitazungumza kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kwa sababu kutoka kule Tanzania paka hapa tukianza Kiingereza tutachekesha.
Ruhusa.
Umezungumzia masuala ya strength na ukasema kuwa wewe ni DJ, ni muigizaji, na vile vile pia ukasema kuwa, nikikumbuka kuna kitu umesema chengine unafanya. Lakini watu wanakutambua wewe kama DJ. So swali langu ni, mimi kama Babu G, jina langu naitwa Babu G. Mimi kama Babu G, labda niko na vitu 4 au 5 naweza kuvifanya. Na kuna kitu mimi mwenyewe, mimi ni MC mara nyingi. Kwa mimi najijua kuwa ni MC mzuri, lakini kuna mtu ana feel kuwa licha na kuwa MC mzuri, kuna kitu chengine ambacho ndio tunakuona nacho unaweza kukifanya vizuri kuwa MC. Je, nifuate ya wale wengi wanaosema kile kitu ninachoweza kukifanya ni tofauti na mimi kwa MC, au nibaki tu na ndoto zangu kujiambia kuwa una UMC ndio utanifikisha pale ambapo nataka?
Wazo zuri hilo. Kwa swali lako nitakwambia, watu wakiwa nje wanamuona Babu G ni nani? Wanamuona ni MC ama wanamuona ile ndoto ambao wapenda? Fuata ile nitakwambia fuata lile watu wanaona, kwa sababu ukienda nje wewe at the end of the day wataka kutengeneza pesa, right? Ama wewe uko hapa kufanya CSR. Kama ni pesa wataka kutengeneza, ni nani ataleta hiyo pesa? Ni watu. So naweza sema ni mahali gani ukienda na ni kazi gani ukifanya, watu watakuja watakusherekea, watu watakuja watalipa ile hela ili uweze kupata mkate ambao utaweka mezani. Kama ni ndoto yako na kwa ndoto utapata pesa, twende huko. Lakini kama ni kwa MC, twende huko.
Thank you so much to the panel. Risasi one, malizia.
Shukran sana kwa panelists wetu kwa siku ya leo. Tumeona the diversity of our thoughts around the whole topic and discussion. So let's give them a round of applause.
Tupige makofi.
Kama kuna kitu you will really have to take away today is that building your brand is not it's not only posting online. It's the values you live with, you know, the authenticity you have. So that is very important, and the impact that you create in your community. I've been your moderator for today. My name is Athman Risasi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tafadhali tusimame for a photo. Tusimame tupate kupiga picha. Yes, somebody's taking it? Okay. So, thank you so much. Tupigie makofi tena wakitoka jukwani. Najua mmechoka, najua mnataka kwenda lunch. It's about that time. We are going to have a 20 minutes break for lunch. go interact, network. We'll be back here for the case management awardee ceremony. So turudi hapa on time, all right? Yes, tuonane in the next 20 minutes. Hapa. See you soon.